Hello, this is Mark Serwotka, the General Secretary of PCS, bringing all members a very important update on the national campaign. Your National Executive Committee has just finished meeting to assess the latest position in where we've got with the government. And the first thing I want to say is the government's announcement made at the end of last week, following discussions with your union, represents a significant move from the government, and that has only happened because of the incredible campaign that we as a union have waged. So firstly, the NEC want to thank every member, every activist and every advocate who has made sure that we have had a levy, raised money, been able to sustain hundreds and hundreds of days of strike action, and we've all taken 3 days of unpaid action together. As a consequence of a historic amount of industrial action, for the first time in our union's history, we have forced the government to make major concessions on the question of pay. Those concessions do not meet what the union has claimed. We are clear about that, but they do represent a massive move. Firstly, the government's accepted that everyone should receive a £1,500 non-consolidated payment in recognition of the cost of living crisis that happened in 2022-2023. This is important because up until now the government has refused to acknowledge that we will get anything for last year. It's also important because it meets our long-held demand that we cannot be treated worse than any other public sector worker. The government's also announced that the pay remit will allow for average pay rises of 4.5% or 5% moving forward. Additionally, and very significantly, the government has had to accept that the changes to our redundancy scheme that would have brought a 33% reduction in redundancy terms has now been effectively scrapped until after the next general election. No action will be taken by the government, and that means any member accessing an exit scheme up to 2025 is guaranteed the existing terms. Additionally, the government's offered us further talks around the question of low pay, pay coherence across the civil service, and to improve the redundancy protocols to ensure that post-pandemic ways of working are taken into account. In the interim, they are seeking to avoid compulsory redundancies, and they have reminded employers that they must consult with the Cabinet Office and the unions before they can proceed. Now, all of that has only happened because of the strike action that we have taken. So well done to each and every one of us. Now, what the NEC decided today is we've now got to judge what the next step is. Firstly, we've agreed that we've got to engage now with every employer covered by our national dispute to ensure they agree to pay the £1,500 without any conditions, to pay it as quickly as possible, and then get into talks about the 4.5%, 5%. The government's agreed that we will meet again by the end of June to deliver an update on progress made. The NEC's agreed that no member can be left behind and that all employers must pay the £1,500. That is why we haven't decided today that we're ending the dispute or balloting members. We have decided that the next month is about engaging with employers, making them pay the money without conditions, but also in the next month urging every branch in the union and every member to come together to discuss where we've got and to let us know what your views are on the way forward. And that's a decision we will take in 1 month's time. And the question we will have to address in 1 month's time is, do we believe we've made enough progress to settle the dispute? Or do we believe that we can take significantly more industrial action to try and get more out of the government? So this is your opportunity. Let us know what you think over the next month while we make sure every employer pays the money and that we get into the talks about pay and then make a decision moving forward. Thanks for watching. Make sure you attend any online meetings in your workplace. Still encourage any of your colleagues to join the union who are not in PCS, but mostly remember this. None of these concessions would have happened had you not been prepared to take strike action, pay the levy and support the union. Well done. Let's see what the next month brings. Thank you.